Today I would like to talk about the meaning of awakening. So many people seem to get confused about the awakening because everyone comes with their own expectation on what their awakening has to be. There's only one way for a human being, and this way or path or evolutionary way to realize own purpose of life and understand that maybe the idea of purpose is also a transitory idea, is by spiritual activation, awakening to self, to one's equanimous being. For most of the people at the beginning has to have a purpose because they're driven by a logical mind. So they have to explain everything to themselves. They have to find a meaning. They have to go into some kind of ideas like synchronicity, like law of attraction and so on. But all these ideas are illusionary because they have nothing to do with the natural, equanimous, blissful, conscious being of self. And people dream about all these things and create all these phenomena because they don't have an experience of true awakening. And true awakening doesn't need to be some kind of a drug-induced trip either. It shouldn't be something which is going into an extreme. Spiritual awakening is when you perceive self in a very unconditional way, where your awareness expands and at the same time it is absorbed. So it expands the perception of self through being absorbed. It kind of sounds paradoxical because absorption is sort of contraction, right, for a logical mind, for a linear mind. And expansion is sort of going all over the place. But the essence of self does not apply to logical concepts and physical laws, because it's kind of like when you go to a quantum world, everything is upside down there. The smaller the particle, the more powerful, or the more expansive, or more unlimited nature it has, or abilities. The same goes with the awareness. Awareness cannot be boxed into anything. It's not even a particle. It's more of a space like nature. But again, whatever word or term we use for it, we won't be able to really explain it to our mind, because spirituality, true spirituality, is never about explaining things, guessing them, debating about them. True spirituality is always about being, and not just an experience, because sometimes spiritual experience can be temporary and of a transitory nature and doesn't lead anywhere. It's the experience that becomes your foundation, that doesn't go anywhere. It's like you awake to the ultimate equanimous, blissful being, which is always there. And you can always access it through being absorbed into self. And all you do after that is you live your life, but your power of observation, power of intelligence kind of enhances, or you start being more and more aware of things that you weren't aware before. But everything comes through the maturity and integration process. Again, it's not just about, okay, I experience it and then I go back to my normal life. It does take place, this transition, for a while, but the point of awakening is to refine and to go into integrative process where you integrate your being with the existence in the body, and you realize the purpose for it. You understand how to free yourself from distortive perception, and that becomes your liberation of freedom. because you live consciously. You understand what is free will and choice through experience, not just in theory. And the purpose of awakening is not to start getting into some kind of supernatural phenomena, although you definitely will have such an experience or such encounters and deeper understanding of various subtleties of reality when you are more mature and your emotional distortions are refined. So with more refinement, your purity, your light essence will be cultivated, and you will become more spiritually mature so that you can handle deeper understanding of this world without being scared or being too emotional or judgmental or anything. So you will be more and more established in the absorbed equanimous being, and you will live through this equanimous being. And that's the purpose of being awakened, to refine self, to prepare self for a conscious also exit of this reality. And this is what you are to contemplate, not to imagine. Look for experience. Don't exercise your imagination.